Vince Olson, head distiller at Widow Jane. Today we're going to talk about our flagship bourbon. This is our 8-year, our Widow Jane 8, as we like to call it. Widow Jane 8-year straight bourbon, I guess is the technical term. We take this particular bourbon out of each barrel one at a time and allow each barrel to really express the different characteristics. You know, some barrels can be maybe a little spicier, some barrels can be a little more mapley, a little more caramelly. It just depends from barrel to barrel, and it's really cool being able to do single barrel whiskey here in Red Hook. The grain bill on this is gonna have a good amount of rye in there. In order to be considered bourbon, it has to be at least 51% corn, but beyond that, you can add any ingredient you want to. For this, it's 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. So with that 21% rye to back up that 75% corn, it really makes for a super rich, well-balanced bourbon. And it's gonna have a nice little bit of spice, rye spice in the middle that sort of carries you up. And then the softness from our mineral water and just in general, the richness from the barrel is gonna carry you through the finish. It's got a little bit of burn. It's at 91 proof, a little higher than a lot of other whiskeys on the market. You know, we still want you to remember you're drinking a bourbon, but it doesn't burn all the way. Just a tiny bit to remind you you're drinking a whiskey, and then it has a nice, smooth, clean finish. It's a really fantastic bourbon, and you know, using our own water from a mine that we own in upstate New York, doing it single barrel, really makes it our own. This particular bourbon has some great flavors of like vanilla, a little bit of like orange zest. You definitely get some char from the barrel. In fact, you know, we don't chill filter at all, so I don't know if you can see, but there's actually a little bit of sediment that'll typically be at the bottom of each one of our bottles if they sit on the shelf for a little while. That's just some char from the barrel. Once you flip the bottle, it dissipates. You know, so you can either have that mix in with a little bit with every glass, or you can wait till you get to the end of the bottle and get like a nice, really kind of more intense last glass on that bottle. So that's kind of a cool little note as well. Yeah, it's a fantastic bourbon. It sells for retail around $60, depending on where you're getting it. If you come here to the distillery, you probably get a little better price, but you know, either way, it's about 60 bucks no matter where. I definitely would recommend drinking any of our whiskeys here neat, or on the rocks. But if you're gonna mix this, and a lot of cocktail bars in New York City do, and across the country, mix this in, it's gonna be, I would recommend that you mix it into like a classic cocktail that really features the bourbon, like say a Manhattan, or an old fashioned, and you know, this particular bourbon does work awesome in a Manhattan, even though a lot of Manhattans these days are built around a rye whiskey, and traditionally were as well, but this being a high rye content bourbon really makes for a super nice Manhattan. It's one of my favorites, actually. To learn more about Widow Jane, please visit us at widowjane.com, and thanks for watching Cigar TV. Light it up.